I'm going to take a little bit of a risk tonight. Many of you know I love community participation in some of my sermons, so tonight is no different from that. I want to do a little experiment. We're going to see. We're going to engage in a Talmudic debate. Why the laughter? So, you all may have heard of Rabbi Hillel and Rabbi Shammai. These are two rabbis in the Talmud that argue a lot. They're always head-to-head. Hillel almost always wins. I always feel bad for Shammai, but Hillel almost always wins. He's the more lenient of the two. And so they are having a debate. And the question at hand is, would it have been better had humans never been created? Or is the world a better place because humans were created? Okay, so would it have been better had humans never been created? Is the world better for the sake of humanity that humans were created? So you all are going to be Shammai. You're saying humans, bad news bears. You all are Hillel. You're saying yay humans. So I wanted to engage in this debate a little bit of what the reasoning could be. I was wondering if there might be a volunteer or two that might want to make any argument, it can really be anything, defending your now strongly held position. Wendy.
Well, I would say that if there were no humans, it would be more peaceful on the earth because it's only humans that create war.
Sure, so humans create war. There are arguably there's nothing else on earth that creates war, so that might be a reason that humans should not have been created.
Humans may be the ones that create war, but they're also the only ones that can stop it.
Oh. Matthew said humans may be the only one who creates war, but they're also the only ones who can stop it. Our earth, God's creation, would not have been as negatively impacted had humans not existed. This is so fun. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Who would have been created in God's image if not for humans? Humans need to exist so that there is something that has God's image. Okay, we'll take one more from each side. Who would you fight with if there wasn't people? Hey, no, she's on your side. You should move over here. Yeah, the question is it better to exist or not exist? Yeah, so as humans, of course we should think humans should exist because we enjoy existing. I hope so, anyway. But, oh, you have one more? Whoa, we're going biblical. She said if there weren't humans, there would have been no one to have eaten the apple that God had forbade Adam and Eve to eat in the Garden of Eden. Was there anything at the end of that? Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for me to, this is just, this one over here, about how there wouldn't have been, if there weren't there wouldn't have been shame or sin or things that divided us if they wouldn't have eaten the apple. Oh my gosh, Elkin, you slay me. Elkin said there wouldn't be love in the world. There wouldn't be love in the world were it not for humans. So there are many, many more things we could do, and thank you for participating and entertaining me. So just so you know, he suggests we have some wine before debating this. So the story goes of what Hillel and Shammai, what the decision was that they argued about this for 2.5 years. I don't know why the rabbis are so specific that it was only 2.5 years, but it was 2.5 years. And they had this dispute of, would the world have been better off without humans, or is the world a better place because of humans? And what they finally decide is that they then agree that the world would have been a better place were humans not created. But, much with your point about humans are here, they say, yes, the world may have been a better place had humans not been created. However, we're here. So what can we do? What can we do now to try to make this world a better place? They even said, now that God has been created, let him investigate his past deeds, or as others say, let him examine his future actions. That as humans, we do a lot of things that don't make the world a better place, but we also have the ability to reflect and to change and to behave differently in this world. So you may be wondering, Rabbi Wohlner, why are you sharing this story? Why this debate? I'm glad you asked. So the reason I wanted to share this conversation is because coming off of Israel right now, having just returned on Monday, I feel like this is a question that is surrounding the state of Israel. Not necessarily, I'd imagine most of us are on the same camp in this room, but there are people out there that might say, would the world be a better place if the state of Israel didn't exist? Or is the world a better place because Israel exists? And I would take that to the place that Hillel and Shammai did the first question, which is, Israel exists, so now what do we do? And in the week that I spent in Israel, we spent a lot of time with different organizations trying to ensure that Israel is an or lagoyim, a light unto the nations. Because since Israel exists, that's absolutely what we should be working on. There were all of these different groups of progressive Jews and Haredi. They're like social justice Haredi Jews. I was kind of shocked. It was really fascinating. And all of these different groups of Arab groups and Ethiopian Jews wanting to figure out how to bring the community together, because that is what's going to help us become or lagoyim. So without going in too many details of my trip, which I'm happy to talk about if you want to talk about later, is that in this week's Torah portion, we see the Mishkan, where we hold the tablets, is finally completed. There have been like 4.5 chapters in the Torah leading up to this, so they've really talked a lot about the Mishkan, a lot about the tabernacle. But just as when we were wandering the desert, we have the pillar of smoke and the pillar of fire, if you're wondering what those guys are, that helps lead the Jewish people. And so too on the Mishkan, God's presence is described as a cloud that covers the Mishkan during the day, and fire that covers it at night so that they can see. And in trying to connect these in my head and trying to make sense of this experience I just had, I feel very deeply. I love Israel very much. It's always hard to go there because before I even leave, I already am not looking forward to having to come back. It is a place I love very much. But I think this week with the Mishkan, with having God's presence represented as a cloud or fire, is actually telling us that in the hard times, in the fiery times, God is there. And in the times that we can't see through, we can't walk through, we can't see our hands in front of us, God is there. And at the end of the day, hope is what remains. We also start the Hebrew month of Adar 2. It's a leap year. So we have 2 Adars. And it said, Mi shenichnas Adar b'marbim b'simcha. When Adar enters, we increase in joy. I know you're probably saying to yourself, you really brought me down, Rabbi. I didn't really increase in joy, but we'll get there. So what I want to suggest for this Shabbat, for this Adar, is that we change it to Mi shenichnas Adar b'marbin batikva. When Adar enters, we increase hope. One of my professors that was with us during this week said to be Jewish is to be an optimist. It is to experience some of the worst moments in history, but to believe that things will be better. So to be Jewish is really to be an optimist. And Shabbat is our opportunity to cultivate that optimism. So I'm hoping that this new month will bring with it increased joy and renewed hope for a better tomorrow as we all struggle and hopefully think of ways to be involved in Israel, to struggle with Israel, and to help build our country, our state of Israel, into a better place. Shabbat shalom.